Hello, can you hear me? It has been a hot minute. You might also hear my cats exploding in the background. They are very playful little creatures, so don't mind that. Um, so this is going to be my first time streaming in Ask Reddit, so please be patient with me. I'm still going to be figuring things out. But it's good to be here. Let me swap over now. And hello, everybody. The Racc is back, at least for now. Let's see, I'm going to be looking some stuff over real quick before I actually get started. Now, see, I'm kind of freeballing this. A lot of people will apparently like curate a bunch of stuff that they want to see ahead of time or what they want to comment on. I'm not doing that. I'm just scrolling through Reddit and I'm gonna chitter with you guys about the stuff that I see. At least if it's not like too heavy, then I will probably be like, okay, let's check this out. There was something else I was going to. Oh yeah, there's also airplanes that come overhead once in a while, and my mic picks them up for some reason, so I'm sorry about that in advance. Oh yeah, and if the music is too loud or too quiet, please let me know. I figured you guys would appreciate having some kind of audio going on in the background instead of just, dead silence, except for me speaking. A little bit of atmosphere. Now, with all that said, I guess we can get started now. I can look and see what we have. Let's see, trying to adjust to a new home. Let's give it a look. If someone has been in my situation can give me advice, I'd greatly appreciate it. My family and I recently moved houses, and I've really been missing my old home. I used to live in a suburban house for the past 15 years, with everything being walking distance from me. My friends' park and school were all very close by. The new house we moved into is stunning and beautiful. It has over 2 acres of land with a pool, yet for some reason I feel so homesick. It feels like I'm living in a simulation. I don't see anyone outside, there are no parks or trails, and it feels so deserted. I'm also worried about the commute to school, since it's another extra hour for me. I understand how privileged I am to live in a house like this, but I'm worried I'll never be able to adjust to this home fully. What can I do to ease this moving process? So, there's not really enough details here, but I do know that especially from moving a lot in general this past few years, that your environment makes a huge difference. And when you're homesick, it's because you're used to the environment that you already lived in before. You, like, say, if you're moving from a city to the, to like some backwoods area, you'll probably end up missing being able to go to like the corner store, walk to whatever is nearby. Maybe there's even something like a theater, some other stuff going on around you in the city. But then you move to the backwoods and suddenly everything is really far away, and you are surrounded by this beautiful greenery and it's wonderful, but like you probably miss being able to reach things. Hello, Catman, welcome to the party. So, this nerd is just chittering away about Ask Reddit stuff. Hopefully, you will be entertained as well. And hopefully everyone can hear me fine. I don't know if anyone can even hear the music that I have playing in the background or not, but, hopefully you do. So yeah. It's like that when you move from, say, the city to the country. And you'll be homesick for the city because, like, you miss those parts of... Okay, you can hear the music. Wonderful. I'm glad. Perfect. you miss those parts of living in the city. And then whenever it's the same thing in reverse, right? You live in the woods, you live in the country, you get all this beautiful greenery around you, the fresh air, the quietness, it's all so nice. And then you move to the city and it's just stifling and you feel kind of constricted. You can go places easily, sure, depending on where you are in or near the city, but you're going to be struggling to adjust to that because you're so used to everything back home and it's so different. No matter which situation you get in, you're going to be really homesick, and there's not really any way around that. If what you have to do is identify what it is that you missed about the place that you've moved away from, and if you can emulate that in some way in the new place that you're living in, don't mind the stampeding cats. If you can emulate that, then you can kind of tamp down the homesickness a little bit. So, like, say, if you've moved from the city out into the country, then, you know, if there is somewhere nearby, like a shopping center or anything, then just going somewhere where there's a bunch of people can kind of help curb that a little bit. And you can at least kind of, you know, get the vibe of being in a bustling area, hopefully. If not, it's unfortunately something you just kind of have to grit your teeth and bear until the feeling passes. You will eventually adjust. And it can be depressing, I get it, but just stick with it. And again, it's the same way going from the country to the city too. Like, if you really miss the greenery and the fresh air and whatnot, you can try and see if there's a park nearby, and you can walk around in the park. And it's that really helped me a lot where I last lived as well, because I moved from the country into the middle of a bustling, busy city. It was very, very stifling. It was nice to be able to potentially walk to a couple of things, but also I missed having a lot of greenery around me, and just taking a quick drive to the park helped so much with that. OP, I really hope that you adjust to your new home soon, and I hope that my advice can help in some way. Hang in there. It does get better. You'll get there. Okay. Go away, finish setup. Go away. Go away. Remove from toolbar. Don't want you here. I downloaded Firefox specifically so that I could not have to deal with all the clutter that I have in Chrome while I'm streaming. So now I'm getting all these messages like, hey, finish setting this up and finish setting that up. It's like, hey, check out this feature. I'm like, piss off! Piss off, let me just use the fucking browser. I know what I'm doing well enough. Please, dear God. Okay, let's see, what next? How to know if he's interested? Fuck if I know, man. I'm mildly autistic. Gauging interest is very difficult for me. Why do some people act like this? Oh, this is a longer one. Too long, didn't read. I was a woman who makes sweet moments and small gifts with a lot of negativity. Jealousy when other women liked me, comments like you can't stand me anyway, comparing me to other men, doubting I keep any promises, and getting defensive when I brought it up. I'm not sure I'm following this. Hold on. Okay, I was with a woman who... Okay, I was very confused for a second. I misread that as I am a woman who did this. Alright, that curbs the confusion a little bit. Alright, over time, I felt anxious, drained, and discouraged from doing anything for her because I expected criticism. Why would someone act like that, and how should a man handle contempt and constant criticism in a relationship? And what are some phrases that can be used next time? Why do some people behave like this? How are you supposed to handle contempt in a relationship? Okay, so here's the long version of the story. I'm thinking about a woman I was involved with and trying to understand some of the ways she treated me. When she'd text or say, do you want to get together or talk later, etc., and I wasn't available, she wouldn't just say, ah man, okay. She'd sigh and toss out something like, yeah, because you can't stand me anyway. Or, that's okay, actually I forgot I can't because I had plans anyway. If we were out somewhere and other women clearly showed interest in me, her mood would flip and she'd get visibly furious. She told me twice that she felt I was constantly measuring her against women I saw online, and at the same time she would hold me up against other guys she followed online. If I said something like, you know I plan to keep doing that for you for the long haul, she'd shoot back with, sure, I've heard that before. You'll quit like everyone else. Oh boy, you know what? I don't feel like I even need to finish the rest of this. I'm going to say this girl has some serious baggage. Alright, and not baggage in the sense of, oh, this is just an unsavory little thing that'll get in the way of booty calls and stuff. No, she has stuff that she needs therapy for, genuinely. She clearly has some trust issues, like, from the get-go, and she's struggling with her own perceptions of herself. The alternative to this could be narcissistic tendencies. What narcissists do is they will lure you into pitying them sometimes, or like looking up to them, or in anything that they can to just wring any emotional value out of you that they can, and then they'll proceed to neglect you. So, like, one or the other. She's either manipulating your emotions to prop herself up and make herself feel better, or she's genuinely actually very insecure and needs to work through that. Because in a relationship, if you can't trust each other, then what's the point? If you can't, the point of a relationship is you're able to trust each other with things. And if you can't even bring yourself to trust a partner that hasn't been doing anything that would give you reason to not trust them, then you don't need to be in a relationship right now. You need to be trying to figure yourself out and figure out how to trust people again. So you need to work on that, honey. You really do. The reason I point out potentially narcissism is the hypocrisy in the situation. Narcissists in general are very, very bad about being hypocrites. They will always, always, always go rules for thee, but not for me. And that is something to be very aware of if you are an emotionally invested person, because they will absolutely vampire you with that shit. The thing about her being insecure about you looking at girls online when you don't, and then she looks at men online and compares you actively, there's some serious projecting there, and I do think it is at least partly a lack of awareness on her part. So it's good you are not with this person anymore, because I do feel like no matter how it went, if you had tried to stay with it, this would have gone south very, very badly for everyone involved. So good on you, OP. Hopefully you're in greener pastures now, and I really, really hope that if this person was struggling with insecurity, that she was able to find some help and maybe some figure out some means of self-esteem boosting herself, if that makes sense. She's when it's manipulative people, I can't stand it. I hate them. I hate them so much. And I'm very cautious about that. But when it's people with actual insecurity issues, and it really does seem like they may just be insecure, I really do wish them the best. I hope that they do better for themselves in the future. Okay. Any advice on possibly not great relationship? I feel so lost and I do not know what to do with my life. There's some interesting ones here. Concerned about... You know what? We'll go with this one. I'm not so sure that I can actually give any advice to someone who feels aimless in their life in general. That's something that... Oh, well, this one was deleted. Okay. That is the kind of thing that I would be able to advise someone that I knew personally, because I could kind of get a gauge of like what advice to give them to help nudge them in the right direction. But with someone that I don't know like this, that I've not spoken to, I don't know what they're like, I can't really say anything one way or the other. I just don't have enough information for that. Okay, one second. I'm sipping some coffee that's been out on the table since yesterday, so, be prepared to call the ambulance for me, alright, guys? I'm so tired, dudes. I'm hoping that, having a more regular schedule will kind of help me with that. Get some water real quick. Into it. Fucked up bad. This sounds like my kind of shit. Alright. Hello, guys. Last night, me, a 19-year-old male, and my girlfriend, a 20-year-old female, got into an argument, and we ended up spending the night separated after we planned on going to hers that night. She made a joking comment, and because of past issues, I took it in the absolute opposite way she meant it. My reaction was not warranted at all, and in the heat of the moment, I said, "Don't talk to me like that ever again, bitch." Oh boy. We already talked about it, and I tried to convey that it was a one-time thing, and it just slipped out of my mouth. I didn't even realize the severity of my words until after I said it. I know this isn't an excuse, and we are okay now. I just want to know some ways that I can give her extra reassurance that this really was a one-time thing. That's all she asks, and I'm really worried that this incident changes the way she thinks about me permanently, which I guess I can't blame her for at all. Advice would be appreciated. Okay, so... Explosive reaction. This is a trap that I kind of... Well, not a trap that she laid. Don't misunderstand me. This is a trap that I fall into sometimes. That if what someone says makes me feel very strongly, very quickly, I may respond more emotionally. And emotions are volatile. Alright, that's really the long and short of it, is that emotions are volatile. They will inevitably be much stronger than a level-headed, logical look at things. Just because you're acting and speaking with feeling rather than thinking about what you're doing. And very often, it's easy to come across way harsher than you mean to when you do that. So, what... I need to think for a second. So... really the gist of it is that when something makes you really mad or even just annoyed, if, like, that kind of thing might warrant an aggressive response, just stop for a moment and, like, don't react. Just stop, take a little breath. Doesn't have to be like the exaggerated deep breath or anything like that, but you just stop and take a breath and think for a moment and think about how they meant it. And this doesn't have to be something that warrants an aggressive response even. This can be anything that might put you on the defensive or anything like that. Stop and think about if you should really be defensive about it, because that's the kind of reaction that can destroy or prevent friendships from forming, and you don't need that in your heart. I don't know how long you have been with this girlfriend of yours, so I can't say if, like, you've been together for a long time and this is a thing that's happened, or if it's early in the relationship. I feel like if it was early enough in the relationship, she would have just ditched you outright. So I'm going to assume that you've been together for a good while. So just consider that, and if she accidentally touched on some kind of trauma, you didn't say like what she said that upset you. So if she touched on some kind of trauma, then you might need to talk to her about that trauma and come to an understanding about that. If this was a joke that was completely unrelated to any kind of trauma, then you need to consider if you might need to go and seek out some kind of therapy, behavioral therapy, to figure out like why you explode like this. I don't know if this was a one-time thing towards her, or if it's a one-time thing entirely, or what. But if it's something that you could see happening in the future with her or otherwise, like, look for a therapist to kind of try and get to the root of the issue, because it might be something that you can treat. It could be, or it might be something that you need to develop a coping strategy for. Either way, I hope things are good now, and I hope that you come to some kind of understanding with her, and that you can build that trust back up again after this incident. Good luck, OP. Oh wait, I didn't need to press back. There we go. Restocking my wife's crafting supplies. Oh man. Another one that's a little bit too personalized. I don't know how to get in contact with girl. I regret ghosting her. Oh, I'm not touching pregnancy ones. Okay. Should I cut back off? What's this? Okay. We have an ad break in 5 minutes, so I will run the ad break after I finish this one, and then we can move on after the ad break to the next thing. There's this girl at my university. We became friends and she asked me out for coffee. I paid for the bill because I thought it was just basic decency. After that, she kept asking me out again and again, and every time I ended up paying. She even started asking me for money sometimes. Today when we met, she suggested I should get a job or do something. And she mentioned that she has a good job and earns a lot, and she still asks me for money even after knowing that I'm unemployed at the moment. Honestly, my gut is telling me I'm being used. I'm an introvert, and I don't always know how to deal with these situations. How can I be more vigilant in the future? Should I just tell her no directly? Yes! Tell her no directly. This is just flat out a no-brainer. Okay, so like she is literally taking advantage of you and the preconception that men are supposed to treat women for dates and whatnot. That is kind of a dated ideal. It is a dated concept because it was born back in the days when women generally did not work. Like, women didn't typically work and men typically did the employment stuff. So generally men would be expected to pay for the date because they were the ones with money. That is no longer the case. If they are an able woman who currently has their own job and can pay for their own things, and they are still trying to make you buy stuff for them, they are using you. Flat out. Okay, do not. Because women do this, and I have read the horror stories of women doing this. That women who think like this, not all women, I know, but women who think like this will genuinely just ask dudes out on dates to get free meals and shit sometimes. It's not all of them do that, and honestly it feels like a very stupid and dangerous move to me, but they do it. So if you are feeling like you might be used, you're probably being used. Don't stand by it. Don't let her take advantage of you. Let her take her dated preconceptions back to whatever hole she crawled out of. And you probably should be trying to take any advice that you can about getting work. But don't do it for her. Do it for you. And that's about what I have to say on that. Don't let yourself be taken advantage of by some pretty lady just because she's a pretty lady. It's not good. Yeah, first comment. Honey, you are being used. This gal thinks you're an ATM with legs. Drop her. You're not imagining things. You are being used. Cut off contact with her immediately. Always order first and pay for yourself, but also, yes, tell her you won't be paying for her things anymore, and if she gives you any problems, just repeat what she said about having a good job and getting paid well back to her. So, yeah. Yeah, no, this is unanimous. You're being used, dude. Don't let her take advantage of you like this. Alright, we're going to go on a quick ad break. I'm going to step away, get some water, stretch my legs a little bit. I encourage you all to do the same, so we will be right back with some more Reddit here in about 3 minutes. Okay, hello everyone. I am back. Thank you for waiting. So let's get right back into it, shall we? Let's see, how to find friends. Oh boy. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna read this one because this is one that I am interested in too. Hi, this is my first time on Reddit, so I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I'm struggling to make friends for a few years now. I have friends, but not friends. Okay, hold on. The main problem is probably communication, because I don't know how to start it or keep it going. And I've watched multiple videos with advices, but nothing worked. Sometimes when I'm out with a friend, I just don't know what to talk about, and it can be so awkward. Or with my new classmates, we are so different and don't have like anything to talk about. I mean, she talks about her friends, but I cannot do the same, and I hate it so much. So how do you guys find friends, and what's your way to start a conversation? Thank you for reading this all if you did. Okay, so here's the thing. The very unfortunate thing that I have come to realize is that you can really like somebody, and they could even really like you, and you might still struggle as friends because you might just not have enough in common that you can talk about. It might genuinely be a problem that you have nothing to communicate about, and there's not much that you can do about that. The thing is that you need to find common ground. You need to have something that you can talk about with that friend. And eventually, you'll get comfortable enough that you can just kind of yammer with them. And if you can do that, you're pretty much set. So, I've always generally hated small talk, but then I came to realize that small talk is kind of the glue that holds everything together. You can just kind of shoot the shit about whatever, and like it's the small talk that leads into the big things. So learn to small talk, learn to appreciate the little things around you, and make connections with the seemingly insignificant. So pay attention to the other person and talk about them and what experiences that you've had that you can relate with them over. That's really all that I can suggest, because I know that this is a communication issue that I also kind of struggle with. I've always had a really hard time reaching out to people first, and then, like, sometimes when another person reaches out to me, it's just an instant click. Actually, my best friends are people that have reached out to me first, and after that, we eventually got to the point where we could just shoot the shit and talk about whatever, and then eventually, that led into the kind of comfort zone where you can pretty much just talk about whatever. The first steps are the hardest, and if you can't overcome those first steps, then you just might not really have what you need to be friends, as much as that can hurt sometimes. Because it doesn't matter how much you like someone if you don't have enough common ground to work with that. So, I really hope for the best for you. Just keep looking around, keep pursuing your passions and your interests, and you will find people you will find people who you click with, and that you will actually be able to have proper conversations with. Just learn to shoot the shit and talk about whatever. You'll get there. And yeah, these responses are more about meeting new people. Mine is more geared towards actually try to form and solidify the bonds that you have with the people that you know. Okay. 10-year relationship and chemo. Oh, sounds a little... eh. Oh my god. I'm scared. Okay. This is probably... I don't know what to think here, but this will probably be funny. Oh my god, block of text. Okay, any Redditors out there listening to this, please, for the love of God, use paragraph breaks. Because this is not okay. 2 nights ago, I had a few friends over to play some Magic the Gathering. We are all guys ages 21 to 22. My friend Josh, fake names, is connected to the speaker, playing music like he normally does. He doesn't enjoy playing the game that much, but still comes over to hang out, smoke a little, and talk to everyone. After a few games, Josh said he was getting tired and was going to head home soon. We finished up our game, we all said bye to him, and he went out to his car. Other friends and myself shoveled up and got ready for our next game. Then, out of nowhere, the speaker started playing again, but this time it wasn't playing music. Oh no. This is like my worst nightmare. If I'm like connected to a Bluetooth speaker, and then I forget that I'm connected to the Bluetooth speaker and go to another room. Like, this is only really a thing that happens around the house, but it's still such a mortifying thought. It's like, oh no, I just watched something very loud and very embarrassing to be putting on blast through the house. Oh, it's a horror story. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see, where was I? It was a little staticky at first, probably because Josh was in his car about 40 feet away from the speaker, but there is zero question it was playing not safe for work material. It played for about 20 seconds before the speaker said Bluetooth disconnected, and the room went silent. We all sat there unsure of what to do or say until my friend Keith broke the silence by saying, "Well, let's never talk about that again," and we went on with our night. Out of curiosity, I peered through my window and noticed Josh's car was still outside of my house for another 5-ish minutes before he finally drove home. Oh my god. Was he really just whacking the weasel in the driveway? Oh, dude. What the fuck, dude? Oh, I can't. Oh my god. I haven't been able to stop thinking about what happened, and truthfully, I haven't been able to think of Josh in the same way. I mean, why? It's an embarrassing situation, sure, but you're all dudes, and, like, a lot of dudes look at porn. It's fine. I understand plenty of people have problems with porn, and I'm in no way trying to judge him for what he does on his own time and in his own space. What really made me uncomfortable, though, is he didn't do it in his own space. He did it in front of my home immediately after hanging out with our friends. Yeah, that part he really could have done better. Don't whack your weasel in your friend's front yard without explicit consent, okay, guys? Holy hell. Oh, that's so awful. I'm at a complete loss as to what I should do. The easiest solution is to pretend it never happened, but I don't see myself being able to ignore this and just hope it doesn't happen again. I also live on a street with a ton of kids, so doing nothing would feel irresponsible on my part, especially on the off chance one of them might see him doing something they should never see. This is pretty damn fair. I have no idea if this is the first time or if it's something he's done in the past. We live in a colder state, so it's not uncommon to sit in your car and warm up for a while before driving. But how am I supposed to trust that that's all that's happening moving forward? Another thought I had was maybe this was a bad joke, but I really don't think that's the case. We all grew out of the sex and porn equals funny thing years ago. That's just not something any of us would find humorous. I know I need to talk to him about it, but what should I even say? How do I start the conversation? And more importantly, how can I approach it in a way that's more directed as a concern for him and his well-being, while also making it clear this is unacceptable behavior that made everyone extremely uncomfortable and that cannot happen again? Thank you ahead of time for any and all advice. Oh my god, this is a doozy. Right then. Okay. So this is kind of about boundaries, right? You are uncomfortable with the idea of him having a hoo-ha fun time in your yard, understandably so. And the concern about someone else seeing something they shouldn't see is also a very valid concern. Um, the way you should probably approach this is, hey dude, I need to talk to you about something from the other night. And then, like, all I can really say is to go from there. Yeah, pull him to the side. You're like, dude, if you are whacking your weasel in my front yard, please don't. Like, whatever you do you. But do it somewhere that won't get you into trouble, because there's a lot of people that could see you on this street. And yes, it's a very uncomfortable conversation to have, but if you really feel like you must have this conversation, then you need to just bite the bullet and get it over with. There is no right way to really approach this conversation. Da, da, da. Ah, quickest Catman on the West. Thank you, I was just about to do that. So, yeah, that's really all that I can say. Like, there's only so much advice I can give because that's a very, very delicate situation. Just I guess, bite the bullet and go for it. Get it out of the way, and then promise to never speak of this again. We'll need to go over some new band terms later. Yeah, I would have thought that my band terms would have caught that, actually. But, I don't know. I'll have to, like, maybe ban the term viewers or something. Okay. My sister is unknowingly naming her child after a 1990s cartoon. Oh, I am scared. Oh no, this is going to be good. I, a 25-year-old female, have a sister who is blazing through life. She is 20 and married to a relatively nice man, and if I was a bad sister, I'd even say he was too good for her. But he isn't, and I'm not, so I won't. Okay. My sister has always been a bit of a defiant individual. She was extremely gifted as a child. We all had high hopes that she would go off to do... We all had high hopes that she would go off to college and do great things for the role. But if you know anything about the psyche of gifted children, you would also know that gifted children comes a sense of, I hate rules and you can't tell me what to do. As a former gifted child, it's not so much about hating rules, it's about hating rules that seem pointless and wouldn't make any fucking sense. Like, okay, so there was a rule with my high school math homework that put me off from ever doing my math homework again, where you basically would not get credit, or would only get partial credit if you gave the answer but didn't show your work. Thing is, back in high school, I was really, really smart, and I was able to calculate a lot of this stuff in my head without putting it on paper. So I was like, this is a fucking stupid rule. So I'm just not going to do my homework anymore because, like, writing out the math for it takes so long that it eats up my entire night for homework. So, as a former gifted kid, that is my take on it. A lot of us aren't really upset by rules in general. In fact, like, I'm really, really anal about following rules in general. Like, I'm very, very particular because I don't want to break rules. I don't want to get into trouble. But then if a rule is really fucking stupid, or just gets in the way of what needs to be done, and it isn't for, like, safety purposes and has no real reason to exist, I'm just like, why? What is the fucking point of this besides just, making things harder for people for no reason? So that's kind of my take on it for rules, and it's like I feel like I can weigh in on that because I was a former gifted child. Anyway, back to the story. So she of course cranked that up to 11. She was very smart, but even more so a troublemaker. Oh no. When she was 19, she moved out of the house to go live with her now husband, and is currently working as a waitress. No shade against service workers, but my family expected a life for her where she didn't have to work as a server. I mean, really, the worst part of that is the low pay and how stressful and difficult the work is, not gonna lie. Like, honestly, the work itself, like, I respect the workers really hard, but I also do not wish that job on anyone, just because it's such a shitty job. Okay, give me just a second. Fast forward to now. She told my family that she and her husband are expecting a baby. Oh no, this quickly? Oh god. We asked her if she thought about the fact that she was a little young to be having a baby, even more so in this economy. She of course put up her walls and dug her heels in and said that we couldn't tell her how to live her life. Oh, that is the worst excuse to give about having a child. No. No. Of course, we should have known it would have been outrageous to ask things like, how are you going to afford it, and do you need any help? Now, after we all settled down, my mom asked, what are you thinking of naming a child? She had found out it's a girl. And my sister said, Carmen, and I immediately put my hand on my wife's leg to stop her from laughing. Now, Carmen is a beautiful name, and under any other circumstances, it would be fine. Fine, okay. That's a typo. But my sister took her husband's name in the marriage, so her last name right now is San Diego. So the baby's name would be Carmen San Diego. My wife, in her most stoic and pleasant voice, said, well, I'm so glad you found her. I have a death grip on my wife as of now, not because I'm mad at her, but I'm trying now to not to die laughing. For the next 15 minutes before we left, my wife kept dropping subtle references like, you should get some baby gates, otherwise you don't know where on earth she could be. We leave, and the first thing I ask myself is, there's no way she doesn't know. She was more of a SpongeBob kid growing up, but there's no way she doesn't know. My wife thinks I should tell her because that child might be looked at differently all her life. Also, it would be really funny to see your sister realize. I also think that it would be good for the kid and also really funny. So Reddit, what do I do? Okay, yeah, there's no way she doesn't know. There is not a single chance in this god-awful, globally warming Earth that she does not know. Where on earth is your common sense? Because, yeah, no, that is way too specific of a set of circumstances. I genuinely think that this person, if this story is real, like, I'm questioning how real it is because it reads like a fucking dad joke. If this is real, then she intentionally is naming this, her child Carmen, specifically so that it will refer to Carmen San Diego. Alright, there is no other explanation here. Like, nothing else makes any sense. No. She knows. She is fully aware. And she's either trolling you guys, or she is, like, serious, and she is going to ruin this poor child's life. Holy hell. The name is perfectly normal, and kids that age will not have a clue about the cartoon. There was a more recent cartoon that was made. Okay, hold on. I gotta... It was made in 2019. Literally 6 years ago was the remade series. So, yes, there is actually the possibility that the other children in her classes would in fact know about Carmen Sandiego. And this is not accounting for the fact that Carmen Sandiego will probably be made again later. So, oh my god. I really hope that this person is trolling. I really, really genuinely hope that this person is just trolling and trying to get a reaction out of her bro and his wife, because holy fucking hell. Uh, oh my god, that's horrible. Yeah, I think your sister is well aware of the connotations of the name and is trolling you because you and your family are so predictably critical of every choice she makes. I think you're jumping to some conclusions based on this. I don't know. Y'all need to dial down the criticism and switch to being cheerleaders. Okay, no. No, 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 no. No. Okay. When they are getting mad because you're asking things like, how will you afford it? And, let's see, what else did they ask? How will you afford it, and will you need any help? Like, if you're getting mad at your family for asking those kind of questions when you're about to be trying to bring a new life into the world, then no. This is not a cheerleader situation. Like, critical thinking is very important in this situation, actually. You need, because it is very, very easy for an unprepared parent, even if they have the best intentions in the world, to ruin a child's life if they are not actually prepared. So these are valid criticisms, these are valid concerns, and then you have to think, she will be really struggling to work when she's also having to take care of a child, because it's a very intensive thing. Taking care of a child is a full-time job in and of itself. So, no, this is not cheerleader time. This is be very careful where you're stepping right now time. Like, if it's something that she really wants to do, then sure. Like, encourage her, let her know that you're going to be there for her. But this is not a, oh, well, she's having kids, so clearly that's the correct choice kind of thing. I hate this culture that revolves around women have to pop out babies. It's just, I hate it. And that's what that comment feels like to me, is one that's just pro women popping out babies. That's not, you shouldn't be having children just for the sake of having children. You should be having children because you love children and you want to actually have the experience of raising a child, and you want to bring that creation into the world. Okay, it is a very, very, very hefty investment, physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, every possible way. You can't just go, oh, well, I want to have a child, so I'm going to have a child. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to be more prepared. You need to put more thought into it. Oh, okay. So I'm going to get off my soapbox now, because otherwise I'm going to be here forever. So let's swap over to a new question. Oh boy. This is more of an Ask Reddit type thing than an advice thing. Feel stupid to waste my time thinking of the future. Can you please judge my poem? You know what? We'll see. How long is the poem? Okay. Try the writer boards. Okay, yeah, I agree, honestly. Feelings for my HB. What? What the fuck is an HG? What? Huh? You know what? I'm not going to try and figure out that kind of stuff to answer these questions. No, thank you. Friend being weird, should I just cut him off and move on, or am I the weird one? Okay, here we go. Here's more my speed. Hold on. Just a second. I hope you guys don't mind. I have like some pineapple chunks that I'm eating too at the same time. I'm just kind of nibbling at it a little bit every now and then. Because, like, holy shit, I've wanted pineapple for so long. Okay. Let's see. Friend being weird, should I cut him off and move on, or am I the weird one? This guy I've known via being in the same few classes in uni for around 3 months now has been weird from the get-go. Being honest, oh my god. Oh, okay, you know what? Never mind. This one looks like I'm going to be struggling to even interpret what the hell is being said. I'm gonna pass on this one. Never mind. Should I apologize or leave it be? Okay. What is with these walls of text? Use paragraphs! It's not hard. You learned this in basic grammar. I'm not reading any walls of text. I'm not doing it. Any advice will help. Thank you. Okay. Hi everyone. I, male, have been with my girlfriend, female. Okay, that's weird. You don't really need the gender tags there, I don't think, but that's fine. Our relationship has had amazing moments, but also some really rough patches. I've always tried to push through the lows and stay committed, but lately I've been feeling completely drained. I'm self-employed and have worked extremely hard to build my income. I went from around 50k a year to about 150k a year within a couple of years. Oh my god, that's sick as hell. A self-employed job? That's nuts. I'm proud of that progress, but my girlfriend still gets upset about how much I make and constantly compares us to other couples she knows. Drop her. Get rid of her. Throw her in the garbage. Especially ones where the husband is a millionaire and the wife gets to stay home. She really wants to be a stay-at-home mom someday, which I respect, but the constant comparisons make me feel like what I do isn't enough. It's discouraging and honestly pretty hurtful. Another issue is how her emotions swing. Some days she'll be really upset or frustrated with me, and the next day she'll be incredibly sweet and loving. It leaves me feeling unstable and unsure of where I stand. It's like walking on eggshells, and it's exhausting. Because of all of this, I've been hesitant to take the next steps with her, marriage, kids, etc. I want a partner who appreciates me and doesn't constantly compare our life to other people's. I want emotional stability, not this back and forth cycle. How do I even begin to address this? Has anyone dealt with something similar? Any advice would help. Okay, yeah, drop her. Drop her like a hot potato. Like, if this is how she's going to treat you, she is not worth your time. Have a discussion with her first, see how she reacts. If she reacts favorably, then, alright. If she actually ends up managing her behavior and stops doing this, then good. The mood swings, that's more complicated. She needs to stop fucking comparing you. Because comparison is the thief of happiness. Alright, like, comparing yourself or comparing someone that you care about to anybody else? No. Do not do that. It's incredibly inconsiderate, and you're honestly doing extremely well for yourself to be making 130k a year. So, that part is very cut and dry. Stop comparing me to other people, because it's not okay. I'm doing well for both of us, and it isn't fair of you to compare me to millionaires and people with, like, immensely more money that probably were born into that shit. She really wants to be a stay-at-home mom someday. Okay. The mood swings. The mood swings is something that does need to be addressed, but it's a little bit more complicated. Alright, she may be going through some stuff personally on her own. There is a... You said that she wants to be a stay-at-home mom. It's a little bit early that you guys have only been together for about 2 years, but just be on the lookout. Okay, keep an eye out for signs of pregnancy because mood swings can occur a lot during pregnancy. Um, be sure to, if this has been a consistent pattern, and this has been happening for a long time, then you may need to talk about her seeing a therapist, getting some kind of treatment, because that sounds like it could be like manic depressive situation. It could be bipolar disorder in a way that, like bipolar individuals can have symptoms of very frequent mood swings or very instantaneous mood swings. So look into that and consider trying to find treatment. And if she refuses to actually try to manage her mood and refuses to take you into consideration with how she acts, then I think it's time to move on. It's time to find someone else who will try to take care of themselves and will respect you as a person. Because, like, just hearing about this, it doesn't matter what else the relationship brings to the table. This is completely unacceptable because it is disparaging to you as a person. So, that's my take on it. If you try to fix things, you need to confront her and discuss these things. If, like, I can't really custom tailor exactly how to approach her about these things, but you need to talk to her about these things, and then hopefully you can settle things. And if you can't settle things, move on. It's no. You're going to try and stick with this, you're going to be unhappy if things do not change. It's going to be a miserable relationship for you, especially when a child enters the picture and then you're having to deal with the stress of a child and then also being belittled for the money that you make. You can't do it, man. You can't do it. So, I wish you the best, OP. I hope that things work out. But if they do, just know it is not a personal failing on your part. I promise you. Alright. Oh no. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is a long one. Oh, holy shit. If I even can finish this one, this will be the last one of the day. Because I'm gonna have to get ready to go and leave for work here soon. So, my wife, 32, hurt me, mocked my breakdown, and now she's finally promising change as I, a 33-year-old male, prepare to leave. What have I not thought of yet? Throw away for obvious reasons. I, a 33-year-old male, have been married to my wife, Kay, a 32-year-old female. I was about to say 32 degrees Fahrenheit. For about 7 years. We have a 2.5-year-old son together. On paper, Kay does a lot for our family, and that's part of why I'm so conflicted. She manages the house, garden, and a rental property. She keeps track of bills, maintenance, car stuff. What the hell are you doing back there? My cats are going apeshit about something. Anyway. She keeps track of bills, maintenance, car stuff, filters, all the boring adult logistics I tend to forget. I have ADHD and autistic traits. Is with our son almost 24/7 and is very nurturing and attentive with him. She packs my lunch every day, leaves love notes, does countless small acts of care I never even have to ask for. What? Okay. You're leading with this. I do not see how this could end up. What? I'm genuinely grateful for all of this. I'm not blind to it, but there's another side to our relationship that has slowly destroyed me. The pattern. Over the years, there's been a long-term pattern that goes way beyond we both say hurtful things sometimes or quote-unquote fights. Oh, physical violence. She has hit me, punched my head and face, dug her nails into my arm, tried to break down a door to get to me, climbed on top of me to stop me from leaving, and used her body to corner me. Okay, never mind. I take back what I said before. Our toddler once said, "Mama, you hit Dada?" out of nowhere. He's seen and heard more than I want to admit. Emotional and psychological cruelty. During a couple of counseling exercises that was supposed to build Racc, I got flooded and shut down. I was literally under a blanket, frozen in fear. She started petting my head and said, there, in this sarcastic way to mock my suffering. I told her it was cruel. She said, yes. I asked why she was doing it. To hurt you. I asked why hurt me instead of using the exercise to build us up. That's just what I do. Oh my god. I asked how she'd feel if the roles were reversed. I wouldn't be here. She has laughed at me while I was overwhelmed and admitted she was doing it to hurt me. She's made threats like, I just want to beat you to death with a hammer. I want to shoot you with a shotgun. I want to do terrible things to you. I have to find a way to punish you, etc. Not one-off outbursts. Repeated over years. Holy fuck. She's said things like, I hate you. I fucking hate you. I regret marrying you. Accept you for who you are? How could I possibly do that? I stuck with your little broke ass when you lost your job, so now you take care of me. Why else do you even exist? Punishing you is necessary because it's the only thing that gets through to you. I know that I'm mean, but I can't control it. It will happen again. She often seems to take pleasure in my pain, mocking me, chasing me from room to room when I'm overwhelmed, escalating until I'm upset, and then calming down once I'm in distress. Gaslighting and minimizing. When I've tried to bring up specific incidents, she often minimizes or rewrites them, shifts to how she feels or to my flaws, adds yeah, but context that undermines any apology, and she rarely holds my pain for more than a few seconds without centering herself. Oh dear. I discussed earlier about narcissists. This is, oh god. This is very, very severe narcissism. It's the type of person who doesn't just, like, subtly hold shit over your head or, like, hold little events against you. This is someone who is actually wanting to destroy you and break you down with not just narcissistic abuse, but just abuse as a whole. And the alternating between the sweet things and the violence and the verbal and emotional abuse is a textbook sign of this kind of thing. This is someone who wants to destroy your identity by, like, love bombing you and then, like, tearing you down. Love bombing you and then tearing you down. Love bombing you and then tearing you down until you're, like, just a completely different person. And a narcissist wants to remold you into somebody that suits their vision of what you should be for them. And this is bad. And see, even my comment from early on, it's like, she does all this great stuff. Why would this possibly be a bad relationship? And, like, that's what they do. They put on that sweet front, and then they, like, make it seem like everything is kosher and gravy. And it's not kosher and gravy because they hurt you so badly, but nobody believes you because they're so charismatic and they just do so well in having a crowd around them that just believes them over you. Fuck, man. This has gone on for years. I've journaled hundreds of pages to keep myself anchored to reality because when she later reinterprets or twists it, I start doubting myself. That is also a thing that they do. It's almost all I think about day to day unless I'm able to stay busy. This now weighs more than everything else in my life combined. By mid-2024, I was telling our counselor that nothing felt real anymore. Life felt like static. like a hazy dream. I felt like a fortress welded shut. I couldn't force myself to emotionally open to her even when I wanted to. I was deteriorating psychologically and even got an MRI because I wondered if something was wrong with my brain. There wasn't. It was the environment. I was starting to associate closeness with danger. I used to have big, explosive anger when I felt betrayed. I'm not proud of that. Sometimes my exits were ugly or scary, though I never did anything to physically harm anyone. Escape, running to the car, slamming doors, speeding off. I've worked hard on that, and in the past 2 years, I haven't had that kind of issue since then. I can't feel betrayed if I expect it, but that leaves no room for any vulnerability, intimacy, or emotional connection. But the anger has transformed her into something else. A quiet, steady voice saying, "This is not fair. It's time to go." Listen to the voice! Listen to the voice. Get the hell out of there. Listen to the voice. Listen to the voice. Get the fuck out of there. Okay, so 3 years ago, she chanted, "I hate you, I regret marrying you, I wish I'd picked someone else," mocked my shock and despair, and something in me died. I stopped feeling safe. Since then, the romantic love for her I had for her has basically been gone. I stayed for her son who would soon be born. The 1,000-Day Journal. Today is 1,000 days exactly from the date of my writing about the breakdown, mocking, which I just happened to check by coincidence today. It got me in a really reflective mood, and it's what led me to make this post. On February 22nd, 2023, right after that cruel Racc building incident, I wrote about what she said and did. I went back and read it this morning. I saw how the same patterns are still happening as recently as 2 months ago. I asked myself in the journal today, am I allowed to leave yet? The answer I keep coming back to is yes, I was allowed 1,000 days ago. I'm still allowed now. But I feel afraid, guilty, conflicted. I'll explain more about why. Her recent change. About a week ago, I gave her a long letter, several pages laying out my experience, the instance, the pattern, and telling her I'm done and planning to separate. For the first time in years, she responded with something like a real unqualified apology. "I regret doing that. What I did was wrong. I'm so sorry for how I've hurt you. I see why you feel the way you do. I will not do that again, but I understand if you leave me." Bullshit. She is trying to wait out the heat. Alright, it's not until you have now threatened to leave, more or less, because you have set this in front of her and proven that you have a record of what she's done, that she's now doing anything comparable to apologizing. She is not sorry because she hurt you. She is sorry that she got caught. Or rather, she is sorry that she's letting herself be called out. She cannot be trusted with this because she has had years to show any kind of remorse. And she's only just now showing it when there is a chance that you might be escaping the situation. She is desperate. She is a narcissist who uses you as her source of fuel. And so she's trying to make this last-ditch effort to drag you back in. Do not fall for it, because the moment that you're settled in again, and the moment that it seems like everything is going to finally become normal again, it's going to gradually ramp back up, and she's going to go straight back to doing the same shit again. Alright, this is not a behavior that someone can have for literal years and not have it internalized so deeply that they would be able to just drop it like this. No. She is afraid of losing her favorite chew toy. So she is trying to lure you back in. Do not fall for it. Get out. Get out while you still can. We also had a phone call where she said things like, "I acknowledge that I've hurt you and taken pleasure in hurting you and done things just to hurt you. I should not have hit you. It was a choice. Regrettable. It's almost like I can't even help it. I know that doesn't make it better, it makes it worse. Have I ever really, like, totally taken accountability? She's started seeing a counselor again 6 months ago and scheduled a psych evaluation, which I asked for over a year ago, but she only did now that I've said I'm leaving. See, exactly. It's because you said that you're leaving. And she's like, oh shit, I'm gonna lose my chew toy. I actually feel like she finally gets some of it. I believe she is sincere. I'm honestly proud of her for being more accountable than I've ever seen. While I still want to leave, even with these new apologies, I feel completely out of emotional gas and about 93% out of hope. My love for her as a partner is gone. I can care about her as my son's mom and as a human being, but I don't feel any romantic or relational safety or warmth. Something in me has closed off from emotion to protect me. I don't know if that could ever reopen, and I really don't want to risk trying anymore. I'm afraid that if I stay another year to see if it sticks, I'll just be more worn down with even less energy to leave, and maybe end up leaving anyway under worse conditions. That's exactly what's going to happen if you stay. I've had an emotional affair during this dead period of the marriage. No physical cheating, but still something I'm ashamed of. I'm not interested in pursuing that further, but I can't keep secrets with someone if I'm going to be committed to staying. Thought of disclosing that in this environment honestly terrifies me, and keeping it secret if we reconcile feels like it would rot me from the inside. On the one hand, yeah, it's a little bad, and, you know, you shouldn't have done that, but also, I don't blame you for it when you're in that kind of relationship. Like, it's not just a lack of love, it is cruelty, and you seek your comfort elsewhere. And I don't blame you for that at all. The fact that you haven't taken it to a sexual level is fine and honestly astonishing, even since, with that kind of abuse for that long, I wouldn't want anything to do with my wife if she did that kind of thing to me. And it's like, you know what? I'm just going to leave. And I wouldn't even care if I ended up alone if she treated me like that. And then there's our son. This is the big kicker right here. I hate the idea of being a divorced dad at 33 and only seeing him part of the week. I hate that he'll miss me and I'll miss him. But I also hate that he's already seen headbutting and heard screaming. I grew up after age 7 without my dad being here, so I have some idea of what inconsistent Lucy feels like. She grew up with a violent, terrifying father. I can see how that trauma plays into all this. Part of me just wants to stay so that she has both parents under one roof. All the things we do together, the bedtime routines, playing outside. Another part of me thinks staying means he'll absorb love equals fear cruelty the same way she absorbed it. The good stuff that makes me doubt myself. As I've been careful, she's not evil. She keeps me grounded and organized. She's evil, hon. She is fucking evil. Alright. Nobody who does that kind of stuff to someone who is supposed to be able to trust them, who is supposed to be the closest person in their life, is not evil. No one like that is not evil. And she can grow from it, and she can do better, and, like, she can change with time and therapy. But as it stands, right now she is evil. And you need to get the hell out of there and get to safety. When I focus on that, I feel like the world's most ungrateful asshole for leaving this rare, wonderful person who does so much for our family with zero direction or expectation for her to do so. When I focus on the cruelty, the fear, the numbness, the days of pattern evidence, I feel very motivated to leave, heal, and experience peace. I oscillate hourly between I'm done, I have to get out, this is killing me. And she does so much, she's finally trying. Maybe I should stay for my son. Just one more chance. So I've spent enough time revising this post and it's already too long. What I'm asking I'm consulting a lawyer and starting to plan a separation. I'll be broke but free if I move forward. I'm also in therapy. I know no one can make the decision for me, but I guess I just want an outside read from people who don't know either of us. Given everything I've described, does leaving still sound like the sane and ethical choice even though she's now apologizing and trying? Am I missing something obvious because I'm so deep in this? For those who have left similar relationships, did you also feel guilty for abandoning someone who finally seemed to get it right as you walked away? For those who stayed and it actually got better, what was different in your situation? I'm not looking to trash her. I honestly hope she heals for her own sake and for our son. I just don't know if I can heal or be the dad I want to be while staying married to her. Any perspective is appreciated. Bro, leaving isn't about hating her, it's about protecting your sanity. 1,000 days of trauma don't vanish with apologies. You can care for your son and still walk away. She's not a rare, wonderful human being, she's abusive. Wish that more people knew that abusers are almost never pure monsters. They have good traits, even wonderful ones, that make their victims feel amazing sometimes, especially at the beginning of the relationship and after episodes of overt abuse. Many of them genuinely feel bad. Most of them come from childhood trauma or neglect. None of this excuses them. It just makes it harder for victims to recognize the abuse and leave. She's not a bad person, and maybe she'll change. Almost every victim says the same sort of thing. It feels really true while you're in the thick of it, and for a while after. But abusers don't have any reason to change while their victims are still handy, so unless the victim leaves, the abuser will only put on a temporary show of changing before they backslide. Exactly. I hope OP understands that if his wife has any hope of changing, she has to do it without him, and it will take her years. Him staying in the hopes that she changes will only allow her to repeat the cycle of abuse, including the apologies and the promises to do better, and the glimpses of hope before the backslide. And Yun Harla here put that beautifully, because that is pretty much exactly what I've been saying this whole time. This is a narcissistic abuser. You cannot waver. You have to get out of there for your own sake and your own sanity. Please leave and please seek safety and help, because it's not safe to stay with her. You're only going to get hurt more and more, and when you think that things have finally calmed down, it's all going to go straight to shit again. So don't do that to yourself. You deserve better than that. So that'll do it for today. Man, what a heavy one to leave off on. But I'm going to go ahead and call it for today because I need to get ready for work. So thank you guys so much for coming. I'm going to see if I can raid out to someone real quick. Oh, who is this? They look cute. Let's see, following anyone that I'm following up right now. Excellent. This one here. Agaya, Pixie. Why am I still following Spook and Jukes? I don't even play Dead by Daylight anymore. Okay, I'll send you guys to a nice funny game to kind of ease up on the heavy last thing that I ended up doing. So I'm going to send you guys to Vixie, who is currently playing the Sonic Fall Guys game. Sonic Rumble, that's what it's called. And I hope you guys have a great time. I'm going to go ahead and start raiding out to them. And go ahead, have a great time, enjoy the show. I hope you guys enjoyed sitting here listening to me ramble about the Ask Reddit stuff today. And I'll probably be doing more streams like this in the future, honestly, because this was a really enjoyable experience, really. So, if everyone's ready to raid out, everyone have a great day, and as always, keep it spooky. Goodbye, everybody.